Yeah, he's kind of got a point, Donald. Like, you are playing a game where you refuse to be convinced of anything, and you actually just refute everything by saying, "Stop talking!" You get angry, you don't mod anybody else, you don't actually put anything on YouTube, you stop or an alcoholic. I mean, should anybody even take you seriously, Donald?
Republican Donald has a problem with his microphone where he can't speak at full volume. But actually, Galaxy has a problem where he overtalks everyone in this room constantly. So let's be clear about that.
No, let's be clear. Donald does that any goddamn time. It doesn't matter if his mic working or not.
Exactly.
He doesn't want to be convinced.
Exactly.
Actually, you're wrong. I want for God to
Donald, you do realize that, you're God in drag, right? I mean, you haven't awakened to an enlightenment state of awareness where.
Exactly. You get it. You get it, Republican. You fucking get it. You get it.
Right, so
Continue.
can you demonstrate the
Let Republican continue. I'm sorry for disrupting, but like, I just had to.
middle of the sentence? So, Republican, can you demonstrate the thing that you believe?
Yeah, I mean, it will be revealed to you on your deathbed, I'm sure.
Okay, so
Hey, Republican, I have a question for you.
hang on, I was in the middle of a sentence.
I'm sorry.
I don't accept.
Let Don finish.
I don't accept revelation. So how can you demonstrate revelation?
You see what I'm saying? That's so fucking. You know how fucking ridiculous that is,
All
dog.
you have to do is
I don't believe in something, so
Yeah, but you gotta admit that this is like a comedy show. This is like the Gong Show, essentially.
well, I mean, all you have to do is demonstrate the thing you believe in. It should be true.
I know, but Donald, you're failing to admit that you're creating content, that you're basically acting as the Johnny Carson host of the God Show, and you just repeat yourself. And I think a lot of people have pity, and they listen to you, and they know that you're on a difficult journey of stupidity. But God bless you.
So,
Hey,
hang on. Can you demonstrate the thing you believe
Can you demonstrate that you don't have a traumatic brain injury or a fentanyl addiction?
can demonstrate. I can stalk you.
Hang on. I can demonstrate everything I believe in, yes.
Can you demonstrate that you're not a transgender, purple haired, Democrat voting, fentanyl fucking addict?
Harder.
So
that's why everybody hates Indians.
We hate. I love you. I love you.
God hates
Right
Indians.
deep of my heart, I love you.
God hates these Indians.
I love you. I can't appreciate you. You are my dear. I love you.
Let's be honest, yo. Alien Kira, that's a great PTR, bro.
Weed is my life. Actually, weed is my body part, you could say.
hang on. Shut up. Just
Hi, Donald Trump.
all you have to do is so how
They call on I support Donald Trump. Don't, please give me video on. I will just mute people that won't stop. Me with weed equal to superpower. Please don't give me reading. Please.
Oh my God! Can someone kick this nigga?
stop talking. So
Weed, you can continue, dear.
stop.
Oh my God!
I mean, all you have to do is not talk.
You guys do realize it takes a lot to get Donald to kick people from his room, right?
I'm trying to say something.
You can't. No, I can understand.
Stop talking. We cannot talk at the same time. If we talk at the same time, nobody hears.
But Donald, what do you actually have to say that's.
I was in the middle of a sentence. But you're way more important, so go ahead. Way more important. Go ahead and talk.
What I'm trying to tell you is that you are basically an eternal, infinite being, or basically God in drag.
No. I don't possess any of those properties.
It's a state of mind. It's a conscious awareness of the fact that the earth created you and that the earth manufactures humans in the same way that an apple tree makes apples.
Stop talking. So what we have to do is go on.
Donald, one of these days you're gonna fall on your face, or you're gonna go to the bathroom and brush your teeth maybe and floss and use some mouthwash, or go to the gym, maybe get laid, read a good book, smoke a good joint. You know,
Stop talking.
I don't know, Donald. One of these days, the universe is gonna just come right out of your ass, and you're gonna realize, oh my God, I wasted so much time on the Donald show called the.
Hey, Republican.
Shut up.
Why don't you shut the fuck up? No, Casey, why don't you shut the fuck up? Because what he was saying was actually fact. Because you're a slow ass, don't motherfucking get it. You need to mind your fucking business, bitch. The fuck?
Donald, you do realize part of the fun is like getting you angry and hearing you scream, right? Like that's part of the show, right? Without you screaming, the Convince Me God show just doesn't have the same flair. Or the whole thing is to gaslight you, Donald, and make you angry. Without that, the show has no real excitement.
All you have to do is not talk.
I know, but that's why I keep talking.
Just shut up.
Hello?
Shut up. I was trying to respond to other things that you said before.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
What is that?
If you don't stop.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. If you don't.
Hello?
Stop.
Hello? Hello?
So, if you
The fuck was that? I had to load up my fucking volume.
I don't care. I was in the middle of a sentence. I don't care. So,
You did that.
shut up. Just don't talk. All you have to do is not talk. So, I was in the middle of a sentence. So, I don't care about the things that you say. The things that you say have no meaning.
Then why do you even come on a social audio chit chat app where people talk, Donald? It's called sounds, words, meanings, understandings, knowledge. I mean, if you're going to negate and deny everything that everybody says,
Stop bullying.
hello?
Let him speak.
Hello? Hello?
So, I was kind of in the middle of a sentence when you said all of that.
Convince me God exists. How did you get here, brother? How did you get to where you're at right now? What time is it where you're at, brother?
No, don't continue the thought that you were trying to.
What was the thought, Casey? And why are you defending Donald? You think Donald can't stick up for himself, Casey?
Okay, the longer you keep interrupting, the longer it's going to take. Just let him speak, for God's sake.
Donald is the moderator. You're not moderators. Why don't you all just mute up and shut the fuck up yourselves? For Christ's sake, Donald is the only fucking moderator. Fuck you and shut your fucking mouths.
Shut your
No,
trap.
don't do that. Okay, what I would like is that every person exhibits self-control. That'd be amazing. So, I like.
Yeah, fuck that too, Donald. I mean, you're a fucking Johnny Carson.
Just wait for him to finish, and then you can respond after.
I know, but the whole thing is about gaslighting and listening to Donald scream. I just love it. I love hearing
Hold on.
Donald
Here,
scream.
I have an idea. Hold on. I have an idea. Donald, I have a question. How long will it take for you to say what you're going to say?
He doesn't kick. He can barely even say anything. That's my point. He's barely legible.
Republican. Just hold on. Donald, how long?
Less than 30 seconds.
Okay, guys, everybody take out your phone or iPhone or Android, whatever the fuck you have. Go on your timer app, set it to 30 seconds. Okay? And let him speak for 30 seconds without you saying a damn thing.
That'd be amazing. Thank you. Start now. Okay, 30 seconds. All you have to do is demonstrate the thing that you believe in to exist in objective reality, and I
Hello? 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 Hello?
Okay, temporarily.
Hello? Merciless. Show them no mercy. Show them no mercy. That's my plan. I mean, with regards to Donald. Hello? Hello? Hello?
It's not an African thing.
Hello?
A lot of places in this world.
Hello? 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 Hello?
Never heard that shit in my life. I was like, Louisiana Parole Board, right now. I'm gonna start watching these. And they don't disappoint, Liz. They don't disappoint.
I already got some queued up. That is crazy. But I did wonder the aftermath of that. Like, does he call the police, or he waits for them to show up and he's like, yeah, just put an alligator out there in the zombie.
Hello? Hello?
Yo, Stacey,
Hello?
come here.
Hello? 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 Hello?
I only did it because you posted you was acting funny.
Hello?
Bitch, I want to eat it.
Hello?
Yo, Zaya.
Hello?
I don't know how the law of start line might work.
Exactly.
Hinduism is the only religion they don't punish you to get converted here. That is 100% true. Wherever you go, you can say this proudly.
And as a matter of fact, there was this a school of thought which was based on pragmatism and sort of scientific. Is it Sankhya school of thought? I don't know. Sankhya school of thought. So it was an unorthodox atheistic school of thought which was within the umbrella of ancient Hindu ideologies.
That can be Advaita, what you are talking about.
No, Advaita still makes a claim that there is this Parak Brahman, which is again, it's based on faith, right? But Sankhya philosophy denies all of that. So anything that you are going about, if you're theorizing something, it has to be based on pragmatism, and it has to use some sort of a scientific methodology.
Charvak philosophy, because last time when I read about it, then the Charvak was a rishi who actually rejected all the rituals. So he's also one of the school of thought, one of those school of thoughts which originated from India, which says that atheism or pragmatism is more important than blindly following rituals. So I think you're talking about that.
Yep. Yeah.
India has so many schools of thoughts, right? So it's not easy to just
Right, and we club them all, and we're calling it Hinduism right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's a consortium of different faith systems, right, which we call as Hindu faith system.
Mm-hmm.
So, like that. Which also becomes a drawback because you don't have a central authority, you don't have a central book. So at the end, the question arises that what should you follow?
Exactly. And that's why we find it hard to just, grow the religion.
Yeah, but it's a compendium. It's a massive amount of information. And that's what you have. And that's what all world religions have, is massive amounts of information. And it's up to you to
Not
start
exactly
reading
right,
it.
Republican. That's not exactly what's going
Are
on.
you
Right?
always
For
this
example,
disagreeable, Dinesh, or do you just not study your own religion to become essentially non-opinionated? That's the whole truth of the earth, my nigga, is don't ask questions and stop having opinions. The more you think, the further from the truth you get. Stop thinking and end your problems.
dogmatic, yeah?
No N-word, please, you racist.
No, I
That's fine. I
I
don't
said
mind.
soft H. I didn't use the hard R. That's my point, is you're getting gaslit, and the whole thing about religious scholarly wisdom or enlightenment is to know that you're gonna get gaslit, that you're gonna get tricked.
I can ask questions in my religion, so it's not like
And saying this shit is quite, compatible. So yeah, you can go.
Tarimani boss, bancho sotina sogya kote.
I'm telling this Republican guy that I can ask questions in my religion very clearly and openly, and it would even be encouraged. So don't think everything is based on some holy book or like we have to follow, like do this and that.
Did I say that? It's a compendium. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah, exactly. Just how, a person who claims divinity getting born from a virgin mother, at least that's not how we view our civilization as.
I know, but I'm sure it's in there somewhere.
No, it's
Okay,
not.
wait. We are using not so friendly word, and we all are bound to the laws of the land, and we do not encourage criminals. We do not encourage crucifix criminals also. So let's not talk about unlawful things in this room. Thank you.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, on Clown House, you're going to meet all kinds of crazy characters, but if you are an atheist, you are really far away from the truth because there's just too much information out there that if you choose not to play the game or you choose not to study the wisdom, you're going to be at a loss because it's just like all education. You live in an echo chamber. The more information you can store in your echo chamber, the bigger your echo chamber is going to be. It's expansion of consciousness, which is essentially what's in all the holy scriptures throughout all the religions.
Religious books are not the only way to expand one's wisdom. There can be multiple ways. And if atheists
I know,
want to
but my
prove that
point
they can-
is, what I'm saying is true. If you can't recognize what I'm saying, I would encourage you to stop speaking and go read a book. I mean, have you ever read the Vedas, the Upanishads, or Bhagavad Gita? Like, those three books alone is a tremendous amount of information.
Yes, they have tremendous amount of information, yes.
But the whole thing should produce enlightenment. If it hasn't produced enlightenment for you, I would encourage you to go read those books again and start doing yoga and smoke a little weed and have a glass of red wine on a Friday night. Raboinoi shaloiloi.
Or you could get dogmatic, right, Republican?
Yeah, because I don't know where he get those words of like you have to smoke weed and read those Upanishads and Purans. That's not the only procedure, there are multiple ways. So I don't know where you're getting your information from.
Exactly.
If somebody
It's a pop culture perception of. It's a pop culture perception of Hinduism. Basically, that's what he's shoving upon us.
we all Indians are devotees of Surya Dev, and we believe that human race is in a dominant position is because of the blessing of Surya Dev. If you want to talk against Surya Dev, you are most welcome. You can talk. We will defend to our best.
It's fine, the murderers, the butchers of pagans, they don't understand, what it is when we try to, uphold our pagan civilization.
I'm just telling you that silence is the enlightenment, that all your words are a hypnosis. It's a communication hypnosis. The reality is silence. It's faster than your words. If you don't recognize that, and you're even talking to me in English, all communication is hypnosis.
Something great. Yes, we learn it as Mauna Vidya, and yes, Mauna Vidya has its own sort of limitations and own sort of advantages. Yes, we do agree. But Mauna Vidya will keep you in silence for a long time. You will not be reacting to anything, whatever happening here. But in your case, you are reacting to whatever. You are reacting in a very strange way and in a harder way.
I'm just telling you that I am in a state of jhana.
Manipulating by hold on. When you say manipulation by words, are you saying Quran?
No, I'm saying all communication is hypnosis. I could read you scripts from the Upanishads right now, and it would fill you with the Spirit of God because they're holy scriptures. They're, great insights into self or the reality or truth. Or it's just a hypnosis script to make you feel good. I don't know.
Okay, I would like to. I'm sure you are speaking or I
No,
speak.
I just wanted to ask Prabhakaran which Upanishad did he read that he found it hypnotic?
Okay, actually, all our scriptures has a not in it. It's like everything is written in a symbolic way, or it is written in a kind of encrypted way that only the person who wrote it can decrypt it and make the student understand what is really written, or at least his student or his students should be able to clarify this encryption part. Else, whatever we read is more or less rubbish. That's what I would put it forward. So, in a school of thought of somebody who is in a very different ecosystem and a very different ecology, it's very difficult for them to understand our texts.
I quite liked what Republicans said, that the ultimate reality or truth is silence. Right, Republican, if I got you correctly? Are you there?
No, you got him wrong, completely wrong.
Okay,
But
so
we should try to understand the sentiment of Sikh, right? If someone says something, then how is it that Sikh, doesn't agree with him? And that too, a guy like
I've
Republican.
not even come to the agreement-disagreement phase. I'm just verifying. Is that what I heard right?
I guess he's practicing what he just preached. So let him be in silence. He has came to the realization that being silent is what is best option right now.
I think he's come to a realization that after you speak, silence is important.
On a personal level, on a if you're trying to anthropomorphize reality, then that would make sense. But then, what is reality if you go down to the fundamentals, right? It has nothing to do with silence.
India is not united as a nation, but you need someone who is superior.
Indians are not united.
No.
Okay. One could make the same argument about.
Somebody told and lost their job. I hope you remember who is that.
Prabhakaran, I know that you are associated with LTT.
No, I am not associated with LTTE, but I am associated with Suryadev.
I don't know. Let me tell you one.
Is there a united nation in the world? Is there an example
Anand
of
Saroj.
a nation that is united?
Anand Saroj, fuck you. तू तेरा कम्युनिज्म है तेरे कान का जड़ा.
Hey, ताड़ी मारे बॉस पंचोट सोते रस हो गया कोटे.
No, silence, man. Silence is reality. Just shut up.
Om Gam Ganapataya Namaha, Om Bubu Vasvaha, Tatsavitorvarenyam Bargo Deva Sadi Mahidio Yo Naprachodaya, Om Gam Ganapataya Namaha, Om Gam Ganapataya Namaha.
एक मिनट सारे लोग चुप रह गए एक मिनट तेरा चरण कृतम वा कायजम कर्मजम वा श्रवणनयजम वा मानसम वा परातम बीतम वा सर्वम लक्ष्मस्व जय जय करुणाब्धे
Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai.
श्री महादेव शंभो नमः पार्वती
Tatsavitor.
உனக்கு என்ன இவ்வளவு வாங்கினா நக்கலான விஷயம்
Tari mani boss banjot, sultinas hoga kutte. Om gam ganapataya namaha. Om bubuva swaha. Tatsavithor varenyam bargo deva. Om gam ganapataya namaha. Om gam ganapataya namaha.
இல்ல ப்ரோ நீ சொல்றதெல்லாம் பார்த்தா மாசமே லட்சம் சம்பாதிக்க போலிருக்கே 1.5 லட்சம் சம்பாதிக்க போலிருக்கே
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
ஒருத்தர் ஐயோ யாரே அடி
ஏங்க வைக்கிறாருப்பா அவரு வேற ஒண்ணும் இல்ல நானும் மாடுதானா சரி இவன் கீழே இறக்க முடியல பறக்க விட்டுறியா
நான் மட்டும் தான் பண்ண முடியும் அதை பண்ண முடியாது தாய் பேர் நீ மட்டும் தான் பண்ண முடியும்
கீழே இறக்க
ஐயா பறந்துறேன்
Finally kicked me.
On top of what he was already going there for.
It's just Jewish naps and magicians
But they're going to
with
be
Bren.
a good 15 to 20 years on top of his existing 20-year sentence. So enjoy. And the time on a protected person's assault is flat time, which means no early release. You have to serve every minute of the time you get for that. And so if they give him 15 years of time for those three things, he has to serve every minute of those 15 years. And then the 60% of the rest of his time before he qualifies for parole. So those particular charges are not cute. You know, and he's lucky it was state because if you and
This is a fat transsexual gay man with a smoke alarm detector that needs a battery replacement. Great. You hear the birds out there? I was listening to one earlier. It was amazing.
I don't like that look.
Do you think
Hello?
the beauty standard changes?
No, I mean the makeup.
Hello?
Yeah, I guess. But
No, I said beauty. Because you gotta understand, like, makeup was never.
Hello?
Makeup was. We hear you.
Stop me.
Hello? Hello?
Makeup wasn't used for
Painting faces?
Another man called another man gay.
Hello?
Republican, you out of here. Take care.
Hello? Hello?
Okay. If you have learned Sanskrit, it would have the meaning would have looked different to you. So, can you please learn Sanskrit and then try translating it and then come back to us? We will try helping you out in understanding it.
Okay.
We are not coming here to translate and give you.
See, here we are not for the debate.
Yeah, and for us to say any meaning about any mantras or slokas, we should understand that you are worthy of it and you have proven your worth of it. We cannot say any meaning over an argument. Thank you.
Okay. Wait a second यार अभी बाकी बहुत लोग हैं जिन्होंने बोला नहीं है पहले उनको तो बोल लेने दो
Sorry,
कि
कोई नहीं करो थोड़ा सा म्यूट कर लीजिए.
this guy is really drunk. I don't know why so many drunk people are coming to this room, but I think people should maintain this sense. Anyways, Hayao Miyazaki, do you want to say?
Today is Saturday evening, so we actually enjoy. The North Americans actually enjoy, but we North Americans are, but we are Hindus as well.
एक मिनट भाई, रमेश कुमार अब्बू, आपको कुछ बोलना है? अनम्यूट करके बोलिए टॉपिक पे. ठीक है नहीं बोलना. मियाजाकी आपको कुछ बोलना है? ओके, अब बोलो वंदेकर.
So here's this thing. Though I am drunk, I am Hindu. Okay. Sorry, Shama Asavi, Anshuji, Alphaji, in advance, please accept my apologies. Yes, sir.
अरे यार कोई बात नहीं, चिल करो, माइक म्यूट कर लो।
एक पॉइंट के बाद तो लगता है ना कि वो लोग किसी सत्संग में आए हुए हैं और जैक्सन बाबा बस बोल रहे हैं और आप
Maybe the thing is that, you know what, I usually criticize God, but you know what, sometimes I feel like that there is this thing called God. He's going to help me out. I was in my last shot of my beer, okay, and I asked God that please make my life straight without living orders.
Why is this Chinese Miyazaki not speaking? Hey, Chinese nigga, are you there?
Hello? Hello?
Hello? Yes, sir.
What kind of beer are you drinking, Wadika?
It's a local grown beer, bro. What's up?
Well, I mean, do you take your fat ass to the gym and do yoga and sweat a little bit, or do you just drink and eat all the time like a fatty?
I think Sleepy Joe needs to do a little bit yoga, right? Because he would then stop falling on stages, right? So I understand, you know, a nation of like America has a president who can barely walk, so I can understand your frustration.
Yo, I can do 180 on the bench press, bro.
Really?
Yes.
One time?
Yes.
That ain't shit. That ain't shit, bro.
Fuck you.
I mean,
I think he's gay.
my point is, if you do yoga, that's the way to go. You know, can you teach a yoga class? Can you get 10 people to come to your yoga class?
No, I'm into muscle training, bro. Not into
Well, you should
yoga.
do both because, you know, you got to do hip rotations, you have to have flexibility in your hamstring. It connects the whole body.
I don't care.
Well, that's your loss. You know, you'll never be unified, and that's why you're a fat drunk on Clown House, you know, drinking beer like a fatty, telling everybody how sorry you are and that God is going to help you. Go to the gym, fatso. Go do a yoga class.
Yo, man, it is not about yoga. It is about weightlifting. I came from the gym. Beer was my post-workout.
Yeah.
Because beer,
Do both. You don't stretch. You don't breathe.
Listen.
You just run your mouth and drink beer like a fatty. Hello?
Listen. Beer has carbohydrates, bro. It is good for muscle recovery.
So is water and coffee and stretching and reading a book.
You know what? That is actually 30%. But 70% is all also dependent on your nutrition.
Well, when are you going to be a man and stop being a drunk fatso?
You know what? If life fucks you up multiple times, you become drunk.
Well, that's the whole thing is if you're not reading a new book, you're going to repeat your pattern. So read the Upanishads, it'll set you free.
What kind of book yours?
Upanishads. Do you know how to listen? It's called Upanishads or Vedas or Hymn of the Guru. You don't even know your own country's religion, the best books. It's because all in America we got to buy all your best books and now we know everything about you and you don't know anything about yourself. You just imploded. Was that your consciousness imploding, your ego deflating, farting out of your tuchus? Hello? Well, anyways, you know, in terms of India being united as a nation, I mean, listen to Wadikar. Like, if you're not united as an individual, how is your country united as a nation? It's just not gonna happen. Ruboino Ishalailan.
Exactly. Just like how, you know, Bhai, I'm not in that bandwidth to argue with you. I'm gonna have my food now.
America go.
I'm gonna have my food now, so you can also go have some food, right? Whoever you are, Republican.
Yes, I'm going to sleep. It's 2:43 in the morning here.
That's too late for you to argue with a bunch of Indians on Clubhouse.
Oh no, it's never too late to Om Gam Ganapataya Namaha.
Man, you should.
Listen, we were walking down Hollywood Boulevard.
Hello? You were on Hollywood Boulevard? Oh my god.
تو بينوضوا بيخشوا.
It's time for bed. We're going to bed.
What the fuck? Nigga. They heard you say that, bro.
She was thinking about black people in your conversation. I just did research about Dominican people.
See how you can't fight back?
So who are you talking
about?
Okay, so what I said, and as I say to you, guys, even men and women, Dominicans in the United States, women are the one having beauty salons, okay, and they make a lot of money. So there's beauty salons in every corner, in every county, in every city, in every state. There is plenty. There is not one state that at least have 30 or 40 at least beauty salons for boobies where a Dominican woman is in it. In the whole United States. So that's a lot. So it's not like we both are not, you know, almost there in average.
He's an angry motherfucker. He angry. He pissed. I pissed that nigga off. Oh, he pissed. He pissed all right. That's a hardcore pipe hit, man. Gotta make me some dinner. Oh. Hello? Om Gam Ganapataya Namaha Om Bubu Vasvaha Tat Savitorva Denyam Bargo Deva Sadimahi Nioyona Prachodaya.
Beings for as many as 90% of their habits by the age of 7. In other words, these ways of acting and thinking become subconscious. Your subconscious has an amazing amount of processing power. While the conscious mind, according to neuroscientists, provides less than 5% of our cognitive activity during the day, the subconscious deals with the other 95% or more. It says that the unconscious mind can process 40 million nerve impulses per second, while the conscious mind only processes 40. It's as if you have a giant supercomputer beneath the surface of your awareness. Activities that become subconscious are known as habits. Many of them are healthy, important habits. Indeed, our very lives depend on the fact that we learn to breathe and perform hundreds of other life-sustaining functions subconsciously. Neuroscientist David Eagleman calls these
bleachy population.
Brian, you said the word second tier, and I want to hold my weave. I don't know. Someone hold my weave. I'm about to fight with this game. I don't like the word second tier. So I will agree for
motherfucking tier city.
I love you, Brian, but like, I think we're a regional dominant city because I don't want to refer to Miami as a second tier city because I don't know that. I mean, you're not wrong, but like I think we're better than Atlanta.
Well, yeah, because Atlanta's a third tier city, but that's a different conversation.
Oh, okay. So as long as we agree that we're better than Atlanta, I'm good with that.
That's a different conversation.
Because the Atlanta people think they're better than Miami, and I'm like, girl, we've been to Atlanta 5 times. No, help.
Yeah, I mean, you're humid and sweaty with no water and farmland. I'm not impressed. It's fine. Like, just, you know.
Atlanta.
Miami is one of those cities, and I'm going to sound very elitist gay here, and I don't care. But if you are top of the Shark Tank as a gay in America, you're either going to thrive in New York or Los Angeles. If you can't thrive in New York and Los Angeles, you're going to move down the food chain to San Francisco, Seattle, Chicago, or Miami. If you can't thrive in those...
All right, hold my weave. I've heard enough. Yo, this bitch put Miami and Chicago in the same category. I'm done with this girl. Can we get the audience to laugh because I need to hold my weave. Somebody... Okay, Chicago. Okay, Brent. Chicago is like on the same level as New York or LA, right? Like Chicago. Chicago is
who?
Everybody. Have you been to Chicago?
I have been to Chicago, and I also know the wealthiest gays in Chicago, and they don't compete with the wealthiest gays in New York.
Chicago.
Chicago. Let me finish.
Okay,
Any stereotypical metric, right? Any stereotypical metric. Whether we're talking about the fashion gays, the entertainment gays, the theater gays, the legal gays, the corporate gays, if you take the populations, and I'm not saying New York, I'll just say Manhattan. I'll make it easier. Manhattan gays, and you take Los Angeles gays in each of those industries, right? They kind of match up in terms of the same level of money, influence, prowess, skill set, education, all of those things. If you then go to Chicago and pull the same industries, the only industries where they match up are medicine, finance, architecture. They don't match up with law. Like, they don't. The population does. They don't have enough of the quality attorneys. It's not to say you can't find a top tier attorney in Chicago, but it's just not on the same level with law. It just isn't at all. There's a reason why nobody leaves New York or LA and goes, oh my God, I need a better attorney. Let me go to Chicago. Said nobody ever. Not once.
Okay,
not once in their life.
So here's the way I look at it. So Miami-Dade County, we have 2.5 billion people in Miami-Dade County. Like the metro area in Chicago is 11 million people, or 10.5 billion people, right? Like they're just on a different scale of resources, of economy. They're just like, the Chicago metro area is thriving. So like, I don't like to compare Miami or even Atlanta because we're just not on the same level, right? We have LA, Chicago, and New York, and those I think that's that first tier.
Here's the thing.
And then
if you don't want to be on the same level, that's fine. But Chicago doesn't get bumped up because you don't want to be bumped down. Like
no.
New York and LA stand alone in this country. They just stand alone.
I think
if Chicago's on its own level, maybe in 25 years Chicago will be there, but it ain't there, boo boo.
No, I think you're underestimating Chicago. Like to be honest, like there are regional powers like Atlanta, Miami, San Francisco, but they are global cities, which is Chicago, New York, and LA. Like even Houston is a regional power. I don't consider Houston a global city. So maybe I'm biased because I grew up in the Midwest, but like Chicago, like everything in the Midwest runs through Chicago. So I don't know.
Yeah. So let me just put it this way, right? No Broadway show starts in Chicago. No hot movie starts in Chicago. No major #1 record starts in Chicago. Like, things don't start in Chicago because it's a tier 2 city. What? They start in a tier 1 city and then work their way over. Like, Chicago may be headed the direction, but they're not there. And especially the gays. If we're just talking about the gay part of that community, Oh, honey, they're not. No. My generation of gays have to die out in Manhattan and LA before they have any chance of coming to the top of the party. And I think you underestimate Miami in terms of particular things, because there are better attorneys in Miami than you're going to find in Chicago in everything but corporate law, right? You're going to have better immigration attorneys, you're going to have better prosecutors, you're going to have better bankruptcy attorneys, you're going to have better real estate attorneys. Like, the only place they're a little bit better is your classic Fortune 500 company corporate structure law. And then Chicago, yeah, okay, cool. And that's because University of Chicago is one of the best law schools for that particular. And the country. But everything else, they're tier 2, and it's okay to be second place.
I honestly have never heard of Chicago being represented as a tier 2 city ever. So, like, I guess maybe I'm in shock, but I've never heard that before.
Oh, honey, they're tier 2. The only thing that gets tier 1 is leather festivals, and even that they're losing.
Wow.
They have the best leather festivals.
I gotta be on mute and drink my water, because I'm like, honestly, in this country, I always put Chicago as a tier 1, and everything, like, we have regional, like, Charlotte, like, Miami, Atlanta. Even Atlanta's not a global city, right? Like, but I'm in the southeast, right? So, like, I don't know, what would you consider as, like, a tier 2 city in the West Coast? Because you're from California, right, Brent? So, like, what is a tier 2 in
San Francisco, Seattle. Because you got to remember, we're limited on cities here anyways. But, like, if I had to pick one, San Francisco or Seattle would probably be where I would go to tier 2s.
Well, I agree with Seattle, to be honest. I went to Seattle. I was not impressed. Seattle's overhyped. I'm like, okay, this is cute. And I'm like, I'm about to eat this burger, so give me like 5 minutes.
You're good. You eat your drunken burger, love.
There are so many straights in the audience. Like, can we bring them up? I love Christy.
Everybody else is asleep. Like, Elizabeth has been awake. I love that Elizabeth says, I'm in Detroit right now, and even I never considered upgrading to Chicago. Oh, I love you, Elizabeth. Oh, Ramona's here. Let's get Ramona up here. See if she's able to speak. Sometimes she's not, and it's kind of late/early, but we'll invite her. Lauren's awake. Well, Lauren, I know you're awake, but you don't ever come on stage. It's okay.
I'm still awake.
Cherry, cherry lady.
Oh, Derek's awake. Okay, see, someone's awake. Shakima's been asleep for hours. Dr. Jordan's probably in and out of insomnia. Ramona, hello, my love. How are you?
Sorry, I was still in the chat room, or the chat page, and I had to flip over. What's up?
Not too much. Nicholas came into the room and was telling us about a bad date that he had tonight.
I was listening. I've been here the whole time, girl. I got it.
That's it. So then, I was just
listening to your explanations of tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 cities. I was like, wow, classes up from the gay perspective. That's interesting.
Oh, 100%. And I don't have an issue with it. Like, here's the thing, right? Would I want to live in certain cities? No, for a number of reasons. And are there cities that have better stuff that are tier 3, tier 4, tier 5? Yeah, I mean, there are definitely some cool cities that are smaller that don't have the same, especially from a gay perspective, they don't have the same industries, they don't have the same entertainment, they don't have the same stuff. Like, if you're used to Manhattan or you're used to Los Angeles, even in terms of, like, access to entertainment, every Broadway show comes through, every major concert comes through, every top comedian comes through, and if you move down kind of that food chain of cities, you don't have that same thing, right? Like, there's not a music artist in the world that doesn't make an LA stop or a Manhattan stop on their tour, right? But there's a lot of people who leave out on different tours, Sacramento or San Diego or, Albany, or there's a lot of other places, even in those same states, that get left out. And there's a lot of cities, like Houston was a good example. Houston is booming, and it's far more affordable than California, and their zoning is better than California. But good luck trying to get a good concert or a Broadway show that rolls through Houston. So there's those types of quality, and then, you know, if you're talking about types of living, you know, I love my San Diego house, right? When I'm out of LA, I love my San Diego house. But there's no real luxury high-rises in this city. There's literally about 26 penthouses total in the city of San Diego. There's 26 penthouses on the beach line in Venice Beach, right? So there's things like, where are you? What are you looking at as types of entertainment, types of housing, types of industries? The industries and employment is where I tend to be the most judgy about cities. Is like, okay, can you get the same type of jobs in Chicago that you can get in Manhattan? Not in a lot of industries. Can you get the same level of job in Chicago that you can get in LA? Not in a lot of industries. And so when Nicholas started us off with the snooty doctor and kind of the snobbery, I went with that direction in the conversation of like, well, if you're in Miami, that's how people are going to sell themselves in dating. Because it's, you know, it's not a tier 1 city. He wants to be impressive. The guy's like, look at my beautiful view of my really expensive penthouse and not my boring personality.
Right. Well, yeah, and he was talking about basically it's the have and the have-nots. And I get that. I mean, I also get the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 perspective. I'm just sitting there going, I think I live in a tier 3, but that's okay because I'm disabled, and the fact I like Reno because it's city enough to have the amenities and services and things that I need as a blind person, but it's small enough to where it's not overwhelming and crazy.
Dude,
Like,
I love, so here's what's funny. I love Reno, Nevada, right? So my mom and my stepdad live like 4.5 hours south on the California side.
Okay.
And I go up to Tahoe, well, not with COVID and recently it's my home, but
Yeah.
I used to go to Tahoe all the time. I have a house up there. I love Reno. So I actually speak, and this is where the bougie thing kind of lines up, right? So the Montage building downtown, right, in Reno.
Yeah.
So I own a penthouse in the Montage building, right?
Wow.
And I bought it when I bought it years ago for almost nothing because they were remodeling that building into residential units.
Yeah.
Right? And so it was Reno prices fucking 20 years ago. It was cheap. But I could still, you know, take someone like, you know, a Reno version of Nicholas out to dinner and go, let me take you to my penthouse and we can look out on the river. And it wouldn't play the same way as someone being able to do that in Miami or New York, right? Like, cool, you're on the top floor of the building, but there's nothing that bougie in Reno, and no one in Reno would give a fuck. Like, so it's not necessarily a better thing. It's just the community is different. Like, not one gay or straight person in Reno would give a fuck that I have a top floor apartment. Now, they'd be impressed by it, and they'd be like, oh, that's cool. But it wouldn't be a selling point. Yeah. It wouldn't be a selling point because they would go, okay, you own the top floor in Reno.
Yeah, in Reno.
Reno, nowhere. It's like,
yeah.
Dude, now,
the biggest
I
little
love
city
that.
in the world, and let's go.
Now, I love that city. And it's, you know, I wish they could continue to get that downtown area cleaned up and renovated.
Well, you know, Jacobs Entertainment bought almost all of 4th Street. They're supposed to be making it nice. I don't know. It's been years. Plus, it was like right before COVID, so
it's slow. I mean, any of those rebuilds in Reno are going to be hard because
it's not a tourist town anymore. It's really just not. It's, I mean, because I moved here in '93 and it was hopping. It was definitely hopping back in the '90s. But now it's just it's nothing. Like, the casinos are just prescriptive. I mean, the only actual owners are the Caranos, and that's the Triple Crown downtown. That's Circus, El Dorado, and Silver Legacy.
and the rest of them are all corporate owned. So they're very sanitary. They're not very friendly. And I say sanitary, like there's no comps anymore. There's no customer service. People aren't coming up and saying, are you having fun playing? Or are you having a good time? Oh no, let me comp your weekend. Oh no, let me comp your dinner or whatever. I mean, that was the culture here. And now it's just gone. Tipping is also gone. People don't tip for shit anymore.
So here's a good example, and kind of a funny one that you'll appreciate as a local to Reno, right?
Yeah.
Is that, well, you know what I mean by local to Reno, but
Yeah.
there. So the 5-Star Saloon, the gay bar on West Street.
5-Star bar right on 2nd Street. I used to go there all the time.
So up until 2019, I owned that building.
No fucking
way!
Bought that building ages ago to potentially buy out the owners of the bar.
Yeah.
Which are a couple I don't really care for, but to be honest, just put that out there.
Okay.
Or to wait for when they were going to renovate and gentrify that part of the corridor.
It never happened.
And COVID hit.
Oh.
And the entire renovation plan went out the fucking window.
Right.
Oh.
And I tried to sell that building.
Can't sell it for that.
And I dropped that building to literally 20% of what its value is, and I couldn't sell it for my fucking life.
Oh.
And I couldn't get a different tenant in there because of the way liquor laws work. So I am stuck with tenants I hate in a building I don't want.
Not 1099, but the 5-Star forever.
In a building that I wish I could renovate, but I can't because of the lease. And they barely pay their rent. Like, Reno still has a lot of that in terms of like its renovation problem, is that even if I wanted to, right, I can't get my old tenant the fuck out and replace them with someone new because there's nobody to replace them unless I want to open my own business. And I'm not going to put the money in to retrofit that building because it would cost me $2 million if they're the tenants, because it wouldn't be worth it. And it's the same thing for the Sabrina's Kitchen. It's the same thing for the Thai place. You know, everything on that block. And that block is
really
very
have a lot of really good gay bars here, though. There's just not. We used to have like the 1099, 5-Star. Tronic was okay. I mean, it was a dance club, so it was great for dancing.
Oh, so much fun dancing there.
So I've danced there for years as it's changed names and owners. That's was my favorite dancing place.
Yeah, but like I love Reno as a city, right? Now, for what I do for a living, I couldn't live in Reno. Like I couldn't do Reno.
Listen to you.
Oh, no.
He is just
Wait,
singing
y'all gotta be on mute. This girl's singing. Hold on, real quick. Go on, just listen to her. I won't sing. I'll listen to her. Sorry, she was singing at the bar, but she had a good voice.
Oh, you doing karaoke, baby?
Hi, Ramona. I love you, babe.
Hello.
It is 4 a.m. for Nicholas's gay ass on Easter.
Bro, I'm not fucking gay. Don't call me gay, bro.
Ooh.
Straight to the
Straight to, I was fixing to say, straight to the P, baby. Oh.
I don't want Nicholas to do it again. Just because I'm like, I'm a man. Now I gotta be gay, bro. That's the gay agenda. Fuck the gay agenda.
That's okay.
Nicholas is an angry twig hunter tonight. Everybody
Oh no.
Not the angry twin hunters. Oh, look.
Miami has a ton of...
Miami, he'll find it.
Miami has a ton of angry twins.
Damn, Ramona. That was sad.
Hey, they should call Miami hostess, baby. I'm just saying.
It's a good life for Ramona to be at top because, like, damn, I feel bad for the bottom. There's like $7,000 for every time.
It's a bottom heavy sit down here. So here is where maybe the tiers switch a little bit, Nicholas, right? So that may be the only place where Chicago gets a head up because Chicago's about 50-50. It's one of the only like 50-50 cities because LA is 90-95% bottoms. Miami is 90-95% bottoms. Manhattan is 70-30 on a good day. But Chicago is straight 50-50, and it always has been.
Oh yeah. Huh. Wow.
Now, I wouldn't live there because they live on top of a frozen lake with horrible weather. But
Ooh, yeah, not the cold. The wind and the cold, forget about it. I mean, I live in Reno, I realize what I'm saying. I've just gotten over it. But when I first moved here, I had never fucking seen snow before. I grew up in Louisiana, so I'm like, at first day was cool. It was great. The second day was eh. The third day, I was like, fuck this. I'm ready to go back to Louisiana. This is crazy. But
Reno
yeah.
has tolerable winter, though. Like, Reno has that, like, left of the country winter. Like, I can do Reno winter.
Yeah, it's 50-50, like you said. Sometimes their winter's okay. It's mild. You get over it. But sometimes it's really shit. And you just never know from year to year what you're going to get.
Now, in terms of Chicago, I will say, Chicago is like Seattle. I love their summers, and people sleep on the summers. Like, people don't understand how...
Yada, yada.